African Americans or the general vote. It's not African Americans. It's the voting of people, period. As a matter of fact, I think somebody said that only 6% of the voting population vote. And that sounds like it's insane to me. Had somebody raised that question, I would have said at least 60 or 70%. But 6%, that's only 6 out of 100 voters? Talk about it.
And it should be alarming. So let's look at this from an historical perspective. It's been about 5 generations now since we've had suffrage rights for African Americans. 1870, actually 1865, when President Lincoln, for his assassination, was pushing for the place of African Americans as free individuals with the 13th Amendment and the 14th Amendment. Frederick Douglass pressed him and said, you cannot set them free without giving them the quintessential right of a citizen, and that's the right to vote. And by 1870, I think it was February, the 15th Amendment was enacted as a part of the Constitution, which gave black men at that time, black women still were not allowed to vote, black men the right to vote. 7 men, black men, Negroes at that time they were called, went to the United States Congress. And they were there until about 1929, I believe it was, when they began to dwindle in terms of African American representation in Congress. And it was a long period of time before you had any more. Interestingly enough, it was the Republican Party that African Americans first embraced in terms of casting their vote. Frederick Douglass became a runner with the Liberty Party of that time, and he was actually ran as on a vice presidential ticket. I say that to say that I think for African Americans then, or Negroes as they were called aptly, the focus was not about a particular love for a particular party, but for the party that was supporting their freedom, their liberation, their opportunity to be a part of the American way of life. And that continued until about 1937, I believe it was, when Roosevelt brought the New Deal on, 35 when he brought the New Deal on. And that appealed to African American voters. And many of them supported him. And subsequently they supported Truman. And he won 47% of the African American vote in 1947, you know. And as it moved forward, African Americans have been a part of the Democratic platform from then to now. Over the years, many of them, certain movements in the 60s and what have you, the Voters' Rights Act, it was supposed to try to do what the